everybody, how is it going? My name is Lucas and welcome to another episode of Amps of the AxeFx 3. Today we are going to be checking out the Marshall SC20H. And guys, if it's your first time here or if you've been here before, make sure you are subscribed. There's lots of cool stuff here. I don't want you to miss it. So without any further ado, let's jump right in and check out this new 20-watt Marshall. Jumped over to the AxeFx wiki, and by the way, if you want any information about any amp, about any firmware update, come check out the AxeFx wiki. It's all here. So the SC20H showed up in firmware 28. I'm running 28.02 right now. And this amp is a 20-watt version of the JCM 800. Now, it does not sound anything really like a JCM 800 at all. It kind of does its own thing. As a quote comes from here, I'm 99% sure it's from Cliff. The JCM 800 Studio is a cool amp, and it kind of sounds like a Marshall meets Vox kind of thing. We're going to kind of explore that. And that was really kind of it about it. It uses EL84 tubes. Now, there was a Brit 800 20-watt before, but that was actually a model of a 20-watt 1959 amp, and Cliff renamed that. So if you're kind of confused, like, wait, I thought we had this before, we technically didn't. So this is like a kind of whole nother amp, and that amp's been renamed to the Plexi 20-watt, I believe is what it's called. But anyway, we have so many Marshalls and Plexis in the AxeFx, it's kind of ridiculous. Like a good 50% of all the amps that are in here are kind of Marshall based, pretty much, either Marshall or Fender. This is what the SC20H looks like. The controls are not going to be one-to-one on the AxeFx, but that's fine. But that's not really important as long as the sound is there. Let me kind of show you the back of it. By the way, I am on Sweetwater, and the only advertising plug I'm ever going to do for anything on this channel is if you're thinking about buying something and you're going to buy it from Sweetwater, check out the affiliate links in my comments down below. If you use my link, I get a little bit kickback from that. I take that money, I put it right back in the channel to make cool videos for you guys. That's literally the only advertisement I'm ever going to do. And so you have the controller here in the back. This one's actually made in England, which is really cool because not a lot of amps in this price range are made in their country of origin. Let's just put it that way. And this is kind of what it looks like. I just kind of wanted to show you what it looked like. Now let's jump right into AxeEdit and check it out. The intro riff you heard, I use a griddle cake drive, which is kind of a cool drive. Check that one out if you haven't. It's really nice. It does some cool stuff from here. Cabs we're going to be using, I know a lot of you are going to be wondering, I'm using the Mars TV IRs from the GGD Contenders pack. This IR is really good, and I've never kind of really had a spot to use it. I'm using the SM7B mic, and I'm using the C414 mic just to use something different. I'm tired of using 57 and 421 for everything. Anything else? This is the output EQ. I've scooped a little bit of mids because Marshalls are famous for pushing those. I will play for you. I'm using my Anderson Cobra with a HC3 in the bridge and an HC1 in the neck. These are Anderson pickups. We're in C standard. I'll play for you. I'll go through different pickup positions, and then we'll come back, talk a little bit, and I'll put on the drive. And all right, sorry for talking so much. I'll check out the amp. As you can hear, it kind of sounds like your prototypical Marshall. It sounds kind of good. I mean, you got a little bit of dirt, a little bit of gain going on there. Let's crank the gain a little bit. I'll do it kind of like right here and go up, and you can kind of see what it sounds like when the gain's up. as you can see, once you crank the gain, you kind of get that kind of explosion of mids. It gets kind of like really thick and stuff like that. I find this amp, it sounds really good when you push it to 6. I think that's like the limit, specifically on the AxeFx, okay? When you push it to 6, I think when you get kind of in that range, you know, you kind of get a little bit of gain going, you get a little bit of fatness. I find it works better when you're around 3.5 to 3, somewhere in this range, and you kick on a drive. Settings-wise, like, something around this area is kind of like my base for most amps. I found that this kind of had some harshness going on, so I pulled down the treble a little bit to make it a little bit darker, because when you kick on the drive, I found it kind of brought up a little bit of brightness. So I'm going to play a little bit and we'll kick on the drive and I'll kind of show you what that sounds like. As you can see with that drive, I kind of really like it. Radio kick kind of makes it come alive. You get a little bit more gain in there. If you really want some more fatness, you can crank up the gain to around 6 or so, and I find that kind of gets it really nice. Kind of gets it really fat. Overall, I think that is pretty much it. It's a very simple, straight to the point amp. And like it's perfect for like, you know, if you're doing like some classic rock tones, some dad rock tones, basically something like that. I kind of like it better with a drive because it kind of like gives it a little bit more oomph, kind of cleans it up a little bit, makes it a little bit more aggressive, I guess you could say. I just kind of like what the drive does. Now, I know a lot of people aren't like pandering and clamoring or really requesting this amp. To me, this amp kind of feels like you're not only in a video game, you kind of like get an extra skin for free for like a holiday event for like one of your like characters or whatever. That's kind of what it feels like. Because we haven't really had a new amp in the AxeFx in a while, and maybe Cliff wanted to test some new procedures, or maybe he just kind of bought this amp, thought it was cool, so he threw it in here, which I think is really cool. You know, you get a new amp every once in a while. Now, it has a ton of overlap with a ton of other amps, and you can probably get a Marshall sound that you want better from other amps. But we do have this option here in the AxeFx. So let me know what you think about the new Marshall SC20H in the AxeFx. If you thought this video was cool, leave me a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. And you'll see me next time a new amp for this series is added to the AxeFx. And I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's been sticking around and watching the channel and supporting me, because 2025 has been kind of a interesting year so far. So talking points, like, if you are checked out already and you're already left, if you're still here, like, thank you so much. 2025 has been kind of a difficult year. I had a sudden death in my family in the middle of February, and things are kind of getting back to normal. I've finally had enough time to make a video. I haven't really made a video in a while. Coincidentally enough, my last video was on the new Marshall stuff that launched from NAMM in 2025. So look, thank you so much for watching this video and sticking with me. Like, I really appreciate it. I have been working on some stuff in the background. It's just been really hard for me to get to it, but I am going to get to it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.